Rachel wrote, "As a fellow SLP, I would like to know how to work on moving beyond requesting. We know that communication is so much more than I want. I always like hearing what others are doing so I can add to my strategies. Right now, I do a lot of play-based therapy. Thanks so much." Cynthia wrote, "My son has autism where he is vocal but not conversational. He speaks only to have his needs and desires met. There is no motivation to comment or otherwise expand his thoughts." Kelly wrote, "How do you increase vocabulary and novel language rather than just echoing and learning a script to hopefully be generalized to other situations?" We received several questions about moving children with autism beyond simple requesting. This is probably one of the most common topics of discussion when talking about enhancing communication skills. I think we often begin communication intervention by teaching requesting skills because it's an early communicative function and it is relatively easy to teach. It's easy to teach because we use items or activities that are highly motivating, and the child is more likely to produce requests because they are able to gain access to something that they desire. But sometimes we get stuck at this stage. Communication is so much more than I want. When we don't take the individual beyond requesting, we are significantly limiting their communication. Many individuals with significant speech and language challenges often seem to plateau at the stage of requesting and seem to lack the ability to move beyond to more novel or conversational language. It may seem that the child is not motivated to use other communicative functions like commenting or asking questions. What this often means is that the child doesn't have the tools or that they aren't sure what to do in other communication situations. Many times, parents and service providers aren't sure how to take the child beyond the requesting stages of communication development. We often limit the vocabulary input to children with autism by only providing them with the vocabulary that can only be used for requesting. We fail to give them access to the words and messages that support communication interaction beyond requesting. Sometimes, we as parents and support staff want children to spontaneously produce novel messages that are appropriate. Keep in mind that many children with autism require explicit teaching in order to gain and generalize these skills. We should use strategies like partner-augmented input or scripting to teach appropriate communication skills. These provide appropriate models for how communication should occur. Remember that typically developing children are exposed to over 4,380 hours of oral language by the time they reach 18 months of age. Our kids do not develop in a typical way and need a little more input from those around them. By using augmentative communication strategies with children with autism, we can actually support them as they try to communicate more complex concepts than their existing skills would allow. Because we know that children with autism think and learn in a visual manner, augmentative communication uses these strengths and provides language in a visual manner. The only way to increase language use is to provide more opportunities to use language. Even when an individual with autism has verbal skills, they may still benefit from having access to augmentative communication strategies. Set high expectations that your children can and will achieve higher levels of communication. But for this to happen, we must provide the right support. If you would like more information about strategies to encourage communication development, visit our Facebook page and check out the note titled Resources for Autism Questions and Answers video.